We're at the Sea Otter Classic here in Monterey, California, and I'm going to take you around the pits and show you some of the coolest new trail bikes and some of the sexiest carbon craziness we've ever seen. Another banging trail bike here, yet again a Sea Otter. This one probably more of the bike park ripper enduro type bike. So it's a Kona Process 153, and this is the brand new carbon fiber model. As you can see, it's very similar to the alloy version that already exists. The geometry, the numbers are all the same. The 153mm travel out back, the trunnion mount shock. It's got a brand new linkage on here. Also, it's just a beautiful piece of design, and interestingly, for a carbon fiber bike, it's got alloy chainstays in the back here. Of course, a bike like this is going to get a lot of abuse when being ridden in bike parks and stuff like that. If you crack a chainstay, bend a chainstay, or it just gets all the abuse from chains and rocks and stuff, obviously it's going to be cheaper to replace or fix if it's alloy than if it's carbon. Good points. Now, as you'd expect on any bike of this sort of level travel, it's going to be ridden hard, so it's got a down tube protector built onto the frame here. But something I really like is where the internal cable ring pops out here. If you remove that, there's a spare mech hanger that is stored inside there, because the inevitable is going to happen on this sort of bike, the way it's going to be ridden. And something that's also very cool about that, it's used as a divider between the cables. So if you snap your rear mech hanger, you take it off, take the one out of here, replace it, put the old one in, and it actually splits the cables apart on the inside so you don't get internal cable rattle. So you kind of got a solution there for a couple of things you never knew you actually needed. Okay, so a little bit of a curveball here. I know it's not technically a trail bike, it's more of an XC bike, but I've got a real thing at the moment for these short travel bikes, and the new Santa Cruz Blur is one of those bikes. 29-inch wheels, 100mm travel front and rear, but look at this thing. I reckon this thing goes like a rocket ship. Imagine sticking a dropper post on here, maybe slightly wider bars, even up to a 124 on the front. Modern day trail bikes, I don't actually think we're going to see more people running longer travel bikes. I think it's going to start coming down again, and that is one of those bikes. Something else you've got to appreciate as well with Santa Cruz is the finish on these things is absolutely immaculate. Like the Yeti, the Santa Cruz, it's like super bike territory. I mean, look at that, it's just absolutely stunning. The paint finish, the cable routing is really nice. Everything about it's a super bike to me. It's up there with the best trail bikes, I reckon, even though it's an XC bike. So yet again, we're looking at another stunning trail bike. Well, actually, I lie, it's kind of above that category. This is really more of an enduro bike, but you could do anything on it. So this is the YT Capra. Guess his name from the mountain goat, Capra or Cabra, I think in Italian, or might be Spanish. Don't quote me on that one, but it's near enough. But you just got to look at this beast. So this particular one is the size XL, and that's a 480 reach. So that would fit me great, but they do a double XL as well, and that's 500mm reach. So that's a much bigger bike. So there's 160mm travel on this bad boy, and it's just built to take abuse, but light enough that you can ride it all day long. Now, they also make this in 27.5-inch wheels, and of course, because it's YT, they do this in a whole variety of different specs and price points. So it really is one of these to suit every budget. One of the things I particularly like about the YT bikes, and I've referenced this before in the Ask in our weekly tech show, is some of the hand-picked stuff in here, like this E13 cassette. Now, it's a great way of avoiding going down the route of using the SRAM Eagle with the 1050 by using the little 9-tooth on the sprocket here just to lower that gear ratio. It means I don't have to go for quite as big chainring size. So you can save weight by this, but also as ground clearance, which is improved on this system. And I kind of like the fact it's mix and match to actually get the best possible setup on the bike. Something else that is really cool that you might not know about this particular model on the Capra is the fact it's certified to accept a twin crown fork on the front. So you could put a Boxer on this, the new 29-inch compatible one. You could put a Fox 40, well, the 49 on this particular bike, and the same on a 27.5. So it does mean that it's got the capability there to be a short course or a lighter duty downhill bike. So there is a chance you might see this being wheeled out at some of the World Cups. Who knows? Yet again, on the hunt for more cool trail bikes out there, and stumbled across this wicked looking Mongoose. So it's a 160mm platform, so you could argue it's up there with the enduro sort of travel bikes. Tried and tested 4x linkage with the horse link, but it's got full floating shocks, it's driven from top and bottom there. Look at the paint finish on this thing, I love it. It's kind of like a modern 80s bike. It's got SRAM GX on there, you've got the Tamil Maxxis tyres, nice wide WTB rims on there. I think probably the best thing about this is the fact it's only $3,000 complete as you see this bike. That's a bargain and a half, right? Okay, so back on those hot trail bikes, I know I've already referenced the SB100, which is a stunning bike, but I can't take my eyes off the Beti. I said this when the press release came out. I think that is one of the best looking bikes around. Right, fine, it's got that 100mm travel, but it's got the 120 up front, so treat it as an XC bike, but it is still a trail bike, really, in my eyes. It's got a slightly lighter shock tune on there to reflect the lighter weight of most women, and of course, it's got a women's-specific saddle on there. So the popular SB range from Yeti, of course, uses a Switch Infinity system, which is developed in conjunction with Fox. Now, the particular system on this one is actually a bit more compact than the conventional one that you see, and they've tucked it really neatly in here behind the bottom bracket and just up a bit. So it's basically rotated around 90 degrees from the normal orientation of like the 4.5 and the 5 and the other popular SB bikes. And it's got this really trick little flap there just to keep the mud and muck away from it, but still it's really easy to access in that position. I love little details like that, the way they sort of managed to fit everything in, but managed to make the bike look real clean and tidy. One other thing just to mention, the same with the SB100, like obviously the same with the Beti, is you can fit a bottle cage on it, which as far as I know, that's the first you could on any of the SB platforms, unless you wanted to put it in the older dog crap catching position down there. Good work. On the topic of really hot trail bikes, this has got to be one of the hottest trail bikes on earth right now, and certainly one of the nicest bikes at Sea Otter. We found this on the Mavic stand. Of course, it's got the Mavic Pro Carbon Cross Max wheels on there with those 35mm rims. Really, really nice wheels. Got their new high-end tyres on there, but look at that bike. It's just amazing. This is number 7 of 50 made worldwide. And at the moment, we think this is one of 2 that are in the States. So it's a very, very exclusive bike. It's called the Burn by Unno Bikes, made in Barcelona, designed by Cesar Rojo, the ex-World Cup downhill racer, the mastermind behind the more recent intense suspension platforms, and of course the Mondraker forward geometry. I reckon that is a hyper bike. That's one level above superbikes. Now, all of the Unno bikes are being custom designed, of course, by Cesar. And this Burn is like their enduro platform. It's running the STX 22 shock by Öhlins on here. Now, I can't tell you how good this feels. It's so supple and such a slick action on the back end. Everything is being designed from the ground up to just be the best possible bike out there. But visually, it's an absolute masterpiece. Look at that top tube, how slender that is, the way it slopes into the mast. It's a bit more like a boom on the sailing boat that is off a bike. It's just absolutely stunning from every angle. You've got to go and check out their bikes on the website. They're only making 50 of each of their bikes. They do an XC hardtail, an XC race bike, a trail bike with 29-inch wheels, and 130 travel to do the enduro bike, and of course the downhill bike called the Ever. The whole range is it's like nothing else out there right now. So there you go, that was some of our very favourite trail bikes, kind of XC bikes as well that we've seen here at the Sea Otter. I'd love to know what you think. What is your favourite? Let us know in those comments below. If you want to see some more great videos, click down here for what we saw day one tech. Loads of cool stuff in there. And click down here if you want to see all the new 29er downhill bikes. Loads of cool stuff there. As always, click on that globe to subscribe. We've got brand new content for you every single week here. And of course, if you liked all this Sea Otter tech and bikes and all the other cool stuff, give us a thumbs up.